a podcast where you don't need an invite to join the conversation. Welcome to Add Me to the Group Chat.
I almost, there's points I even canceled hanging out with friends because I was just so tired.
Yeah.
It's much more than that.
Yeah.
Like, if you start seeing the signs that your body is kind of deteriorating, you know, you're in that fight or flight all the time.
You a sugar or like a starchy type of snacker or eater?
Yes.
Both?
Yes. Yeah, I like both. But I would definitely say, like, probably would go a bit more towards the sweet side.
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I want to stop right now in this episode and tell you to subscribe or follow. Just takes 5 seconds wherever you're tuning in from. Literally, you can do it right now while I'm talking. Just scroll around, hit the follow button, or if it's on the YouTube platform, you can hit subscribe. The more subscribers and follows, it shows that the podcast is growing and that you love it, and they will push it out the platform to more people to listen and tune in. Thank you so much for doing that. It really means a lot. And if you have extra 30 seconds, leave us a review or a comment. You are the best. Let's get back to today's episode. Hi, you guys. Welcome to Add Me to the Group Chat. I am so excited for today's guest because she's new to me. She's new to you guys, but maybe not really because depending on who's tuning in. But I kind of stalked her for a minute on social media, and I was at a wedding. I guess it's maybe a month ago. No, it was December. Yeah. Okay. I kind of forget where we're at. We're already February, which feels wild.
Yeah.
And she was the photographer at the wedding, but I didn't realize you were the photographer at the wedding. Like I wasn't like there looking for, whatever. So I wasn't really paying attention to that, but it was a great time. After the wedding, the bride had posted pictures or you had tagged or whatever. It came up and I was like, oh my gosh, these photos are so freaking stunning. They were moody and they are romantic and they were like sexy and they were just like so pretty.
I love the word sexy.
You said that on the phone with me too, which is funny.
Yeah.
And I never use that word, but those photos are, and it wasn't like they're
not raunchy.
They're not.
No.
It's just the elegance of like how they were, and they're just stunning. So I was like, dang. So I immediately went to who the photographer was, which I love that when people like tag and do all the stuff. And I went to your stuff and I followed it. I looked through your feed and I was like, it's so pretty. So when I do photos, I definitely need to keep you in mind. So then I just moved past it. But then I was processing, because I've been saying for years, we need to get new family photos. It's just been something on my radar. And immediately I was like, that's how I want my family photos to be. Like, that's what we're doing. Because I love that style. I feel like, I don't know. It feels like photos went from like clean, white, crisp. Do you know what I mean? And now everything's very like moody and has some type of like story, and I feel like your photos kind of almost tell a story, and it wasn't just like, oh, everybody's photos look like this in their house. That's what I don't want.
Sure.
And so something about your photos, and I was like, you know what, let me DM her. Let me go to her website. Actually, first, instead of DMing you, I went to your website. I was like, I'll be professional. I won't be a weirdo. I'll go to her website like she asked people to do, right? Went to your website, did all the stuff, and then the calendar was weird. It was like a different...
I fixed it, y'all.
Yeah.
The calendar is now official.
Yeah.
It was in Polish, because I think
Was it?
So the
Yeah.
template that I used a long time ago,
Yes.
it was Polish, and obviously, like, I made it my own and I added English, but the default for it was Polish. And so for like the dates and stuff. And so when you said that, I was like, oh, that's what it was. And so I went back, and now the official language of the site is Polish. I don't speak Polish. I don't know Polish, but it's English now.
It's English, yeah. And I didn't even know what it was. Like, I was like, I don't know what this is. And so I went through another browser. I went back in. I was like, you know what?
I really appreciate you taking the time to like really try to figure it out. You saved some of my potential clients, some extra time. So I appreciate that. Yeah. But man, you're going to have to take my ego down like 10 notches once I get done with this episode. You're making me sound so good.
You are good. People, I'll tag her account. Y'all just have to look at it. I think it's cool too when you use social media and you just use your craft. Some people, like for me, for instance, for content, I post myself in all the most authentic, pretty ways. Like, I'm just like out there. And then some stuff I put that's very polished, but it really just depends. But your account is very polished because it's what you do. It's your craft. And so when you look at it and you're just scrolling. You're just like, man, so pretty, so pretty, so pretty. And your website
so
too.
Sweet to say that. Thank
So
you.
I messaged you on your website, and then I was like, I'm too impatient for this crap. So then I DM'd you. And so I was like, either way, she will get the message somehow.
I got 2 messages.
Yeah. And so then we connected and we chatted over the phone. Here we are. And then you had said you have a podcast. I'm like, yeah. And the podcast isn't huge, but it's definitely something I'm consistently going to show up for, and it will grow.
Yeah.
And I want people to use their voices. And so you were like, oh my gosh, I would love to speak on women and women's health and toxic environments and just like
I invited myself
the
on.
the rawness, but it feels really good. And I appreciate it. I honestly appreciate that because it allows me to figure out more things that need to be chatted about,
Yeah. It's a good, I think because your podcast is about having those conversations that you would kind of have in a group chat.
Yes.
And I feel like this is when you talk about, I love talking about business with you because I think that'll be really fun, and women in business, but also talking about health. Like that's something that women, at least in my group chats, we're talking about like all the time. Like fertility is one of the big ones that women like talk about. Like I talk about it a lot.
Yes.
So it's a good conversation to have, and just kind of open up the can of worms that is
I know.
workplace health.
Yeah.
All the stuff.
And sometimes people don't talk about it publicly because I guess it can look to a way of almost embarrassment. Like, oh, my body's not working like it should. Or I'm in a workplace that shouldn't be this way. Maybe I'm the problem. And I think sometimes it can have a negative connotation on it as a whole for the individual. And so I think having this conversation, we're like, no, we're going to normalize this crap. Like this is real stuff. And we're going to just go ahead and have this discussion. So this is where Jordan came from, you guys. Yeah. Our relationship.
Yeah. And it's a very short-lived relationship. Like this conversation will probably be the longest conversation we've had.
It will.
So far. Like we talked on the phone for about 20-ish minutes.
Yeah,
and then she talked to me for a few minutes trying to find her house. But yeah, no, I appreciate you having me on and, talking about all this. It's a lot it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of fun.
Yeah. It is going to be fun. So I want to start with this. This is how I want because this is going to be a little bit deep, but it's not going to be as deep like it's going to be upsetting. This is just real, and I think this will allow you to kind of maybe figure out how you want to start it. Okay. But when did you realize you were in a toxic environment? That's where I feel like sometimes gets cloudy. It's because when you see it now because you're on the other side, but when you're in it, how can you describe that for someone because they might be facing that too?
I think, and I'm only going to speak from my experience, right? Because, I'm not a professional, because I know there's people that are professional, like how to get out of toxic workplace environments. That's one of the signs that you might be in a toxic work environment is if you're looking at videos about how to know if you're in a toxic work environment. I did that because I was not 100% sure.
Well, when you look that up, what'd you do? Google? I mean, you just Googled
I just went to YouTube and I was like, what are some signs that I'm in a toxic, and there would be people that, more power to them, just, making these videos kind of explaining what a toxic environment looked like.
Yeah.
I think for me, because I was in it for a couple years, and one of the things I think you have to kind of look out for, it's a joke a little bit, where if they say we're like family. Oh. And listen, that's the thing with, in general, I've noticed with toxic situations is that they take something that's a good phrase, that's a good thing that you're like, oh yes, I want to feel like this is a family. I want this to feel like more than just a job. And then you take that and then they exploit that. Well, it's like, well, the family does this, family goes above and beyond, and of course you're like, well, in my job I want to go above and beyond, but then there's a point where boundaries get broken, and then you're like, well, wait a minute, how did I get here? So it's kind of a slow process, at least for me, I think, of slowly realizing that, okay, this is more than just me working hard. I'm working too hard with too many frustrations, and of course I'm going to actually kind of circle circle back and actually just backpedal a second, is that a lot of people, they use the word toxic pretty loosely, right?
It does get thrown around
It
more.
does, yeah.
For sure.
It does. And so every job is going to have its frustrations. Because as I was talking there, I could imagine the audience thinking, well, every job has frustrations.
Yeah.
And that's true. Every job has frustrations. But it's different. I think toxic takes a whole different level where the whole organism is completely broken.
Yep.
Whether the organism is like the immediate team itself, whether the organism means the company, the organization, the business. And so that's what I think you have to look out for is, am I being gaslit?
Yeah.
That was a huge one of, hey, are you being gaslit? Do they actually value you as an employee to respect your time? Like, that's one of those things.
You get caught up in situations, too, where you are hired for a certain role, but then the role turns into 10 roles that you...
Well, that's what family does. Family takes on a bunch of different... I'm just kind of like...
No, you are. I know. Which is funny because it's like, well, pick up the pieces.
Yeah.
Of course. That's what we do for each other.
Yeah. We're a family.
Oh, my gosh. It's funny because I've never looked at it that way, but man, does that also get thrown around a lot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think even you can even go a step further. I think I heard at one point you can say that it's like a marriage.
Yeah.
Which is like, when they try to... Because when they're trying to say they're family, they're trying to like create this bond that's like... not there. Like, at the end of the day, like, you're an employee, right? Like, you work excellently, you work unto the Lord, but there's a point where it's like, okay, you're clearly stretching a boundary here. Like, say work hours are 8 to 5. It's like, well, you've got to, respect that to a certain degree. Now, sometimes there are jobs where there is an understanding that you will be called after hours. Like, some people go in, like, for example, so I'm, as well as a photographer, I also work a little bit in media.
Yes.
And media doesn't just end at 5, right? Like, you have to kind of work after that sometimes.
Yeah, there could be a project that you're really trying to wrap, and it takes more time, Well,
it's more of like if a piece of news breaks, right? And so if you're responding in media and public relations, you have to kind of like just jump on it. But when you're doing that, like, you kind of create a system where it's like one person's on call, one person. So it's not just like everyone's just like scrambling. Like, there has to be some structure.
Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So, if they say that they're family, but then they're like one of those families that you wish you were never a part of.
It's almost, they abuse the word too much. So it's almost a brainwashing type of experience that it's used so much that you're just like, well, I guess this is what you do for family, and then you feel like that is a normal thing.
Yeah. Yeah. They can, that can be something that happens. And I think too, it also just depends on what type of company it is. I think sometimes there can almost be manipulation of, like, if you're like in a nonprofit organization, right? Like, let's say the nonprofit is called Save the Penguins, right? Okay, like, you love these penguins, like, you are a penguin enthusiast.
Yeah.
And you get your dream job of getting to save the penguins.
Yeah.
It's a great day.
Yeah.
But soon enough, what can happen if you're not careful and the leadership is not held accountable is that they can exploit that desire to save the penguins. Be like, well, if you really care, like, we all have to just keep working.
Yeah.
We have to keep working and working and working. And if you're not working, if you're not working above the 8 to 5, then you're just not working hard
and
enough.
you don't care about the penguins.
You don't care about the penguins.
Yeah.
Like,
they are dying because you are not.
You're
doing
not
your
working
extra.
until 10 p.m. Like, that's kind of the so.
What a good analogy! I'm an analogy freak. I love it. What a good one.
Yeah. Yeah. And so when you're working in a nonprofit environment, that could very well happen. In regards to like corporate, I've actually never worked in corporate. So I don't know how the exploiting works there, whether it's like, if you work extra long, we'll give you a pizza. I don't know how that works. But I think, and that's the thing too, sometimes when there is a toxic environment, because I know there's some people that are going to listen to this and they're going to know what I'm referring to. Like, there could be like really good people within toxic environments, And I think the reason how you get good people is because they have good hearts and they want to work hard and they want to do their best. And, sin nature is everywhere. And so if there's not accountability at the top and there's not good overall company structure, then you're going to end up with a situation where everyone's overworked. People are gossiping, they're exhausted. And that's kind of one of the things that I wanted to talk about was health, especially women's health, because, again, I don't want to get political in any way. So when I say this word, don't freak out, but it's about, the culture of women working, right? I'm not against women working. I work 2 jobs, okay? I'm not against it at all. But I think what can happen is that women are like, okay, I just need to hustle. Like, this is what I got to do. And it can either be in a more toxic work environment where it's like, well, maybe I'm just not tough enough. It's like, I just got to keep going on. You kind of convince yourself it's not that bad. Yeah. That's one of the things that you do.
That is true. Yes.
You convince yourself it's not that bad. And that this is just what's necessary because you just want to keep rationalizing it. But yeah, so women that will hustle and again, I'm not a doctor, I'm not a scientist or anything like that. But what I do know is that when you're constantly stressed, your cortisol is going to go up pretty high, and you're always going to be in this fight or flight situation. Yeah. And that's what I was in constantly.
Well, when you were in it, how did it affect your physical and mental health? But now versus you're out of it. So we'll get there. But when you were in it, how was it affecting you?
Like, I was like constantly in fight or flight mode. Like, I don't even know how to describe it to people, of like always anxious. Like when I was off work, I was always anxious that I was missing something. Like I felt like I couldn't go through a weekend without looking at my phone to keep looking at work because I felt like I was going to get in trouble. Like if I missed something over the weekend. So your brain never shuts off. Like your brain never has a Sabbath. Which is important. Like it's not biblical. Like I don't know, like I'm a Christian.
Yeah, and that's same. And so I think speak on what we speak on your truth.
Well, I think everyone needs a Sabbath, you know, even if you're not religious, like everyone needs a day of rest. And I would, because I am a Christian, I am religious, I'd say God designed it that way. Like your body wants that. Yep. And so when you're not getting that, so you're constantly going, there's points at the end where I would just wake up and I would just be like, I want relief so bad. Like I wanted to cry. And there were even points where I was like literally getting like rashes, like on my hand because like, and I would be like, my heart would be going up and down. I would be getting kind of, you know, when you get kind of like anxious, you get like all those chills and stuff. Yeah. I would be getting that like a lot more during the work day. I had no energy to work out and take care of my body. That was a huge problem. I almost, there's points I even canceled hanging out with friends because I was just so tired. Yeah. Like I'd make it to the end of a day, like and then a Friday, and I'd just be like, I don't even have energy. Like I just didn't even feel like I had energy for my husband. Yeah, you were done. Yeah.
How did he take it? So when he sees you in this position, obviously men are, you know, they're designed to fix. So how does he handle that with you? Or does he just listen?
I think he listened. He was trying to like help me, like, because he knew it was a bad situation. Like there was no doubt that it was not good, but he was just like, you know, what are the good things that we can take from this? And I know for some people, like, how could he say that? But he did the right thing, because when you're in that situation and we were actively trying to get out, like you do have to look at the things that are good. Yeah. And there were good things, right? Right. And so that was helpful just to keep me in perspective and kind of essentially, I think one person said it really well to me, is that you don't want like two drunk people at a bar. You know, you want one person that's sober and I was the drunk person because
Yeah.
I just, I was just over it. Like I was so tired. And
Today's sponsor for this episode is Like Butter. That is my personal brand. I have been growing my personal brand for many years, but recently came out with my own body care line, which is Like Butter, LYKBUTTAH, and it is so magical. We have body scrubs, body soaps, body sprays, which is a fragrance mist, and a body butter, and it feels so magical on your skin. It really allows you to have a reset for your morning, afternoon, or your night. Whenever you take your bath or shower time, take your Like Butter products and enjoy. Go to Like Butter right now and go ahead and shop our product collection. You can get the Reset collection. It is full of amazing essentials in a cute bag. So all you have to do is take that bag to the bathroom with you and you are set, and it's easy to travel with. Go ahead and enjoy Like Butter, and I love you so much. Thank you, and leave us a review when you do try our products. You're the best. Let's get back to today's episode.
Breaking down, and I never knew
And he
what
could
the day
see
was
more
gonna
clear.
hold. He could.
Yeah.
He could. And so that was really helpful for me, for him to be kind of just a strong beacon of being understanding. And obviously, he's like, I want you to be somewhere better.
And you said you were trying to get out of it for a while. So what does that look like? The planning or the preparation? Could you just on a whim walk in and say, I'm done today? Is it...
Yeah.
How do you do? Because, people get caught up in, I work because this is my income. And if I don't have an income, obviously this is how my life will change. Like, that's huge. Or I have insurance at work and my family needs that. And so those things, okay, now I have to find a plan B. So let me go find another position, see if they'll work with me on when I can start versus how I can quit this job. And I'm sure all that is so daunting. So how
really
did you do
daunting.
it?
So there was consideration about just quitting cold and just hoping for the best. And by quitting cold, I mean, you do it with the utmost respect and dignity, especially wherever you're working, you want to show them respect.
Yes.
And so, you give your 2 weeks, you do all of that stuff. So just kind of basically leaving without a plan was on the table. But in my situation, there's some ebb and flows where I was like, I think I can keep going. I think, it's better this week, in some weeks, ebbs and flows. And so, you just gotta apply like crazy. You gotta apply like crazy. Like if you're serious about getting out. And I applied, I don't know, probably hundreds. I just applied so much, for other positions. And eventually, one, came to my lap from a friend of mine. And so that was the position that, I was able to go to my old work and leave my 2 weeks and, leave in good standing, never again. I don't even want to make this podcast even about them because I really just want to make it about what's waiting on the other side.
Yeah.
And that's what excites me.
And you said you told your friend, it came from your friend. So this was something you were telling your circle.
Oh, yeah.
They knew what was going on. You're like, listen, if anything comes up, I need to know because I can't do it anymore.
You got to have community. You got to have people that are in your corner. And I am so grateful that I had so many people that were rooting for me and understood that I was not doing well and could see that I wasn't doing well. And that's how I got where I am today, and everything is so much better. All I can say is that they're amazing and very, very happy. And at the end of the day, too, one of the things that I would hope would come from this conversation is even for employers, or it's guys, you can have people work hard and still promote a level of work-life balance that shows that you value your employee as much as you want them to value your company.
100%.
I think that's how you keep people nowadays. I think we're over the situation where we're working 10 to 15 hours, where it's how do we work smarter not harder. All right. Because like, just because you're working hard doesn't mean it's like, okay, good job. It's like, it doesn't mean that you're doing it right.
Yeah.
Doing
I
it
could
well.
have worked in 5 hours and gotten what you did in 15. Like,
Yeah.
do you know what I mean?
No,
like,
it
that
happens
is-
to so many people though.
Yeah. Yeah.
And there are some companies that get the gist of that.
Yes.
And it does depend on the manager too.
Yes.
Which I've had all great managers, by the way, in all of
Good.
my jobs that I've been in. I've been very, very fortunate. But it's like, hey, if you can get it done and you're done, just
Get it
be done. Then you're
Yeah.
just
That's
take
it.
off, like you're done.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. And so I think that there are, again, I don't want to overgeneralize. I think that there are companies that are doing that well, and then I think that there are companies that are still figuring that out.
Well, it's a control thing. It's micromanaging.
Yeah,
They
I
want
agree
their
with
hands
that.
in the pot. They want to, all that. But it does not help the actual individual. And we've got to be very aware of everyone is human. We all have to focus on ourselves. If I am falling apart mentally, I can't perform at my
I think
job.
that's exactly right, though.
The
That's
performance
exactly right.
is not there. So now that you're on the other side of it, congratulations
Thank you.
on that,
Thank
because
you.
it does feel really good. It's so dark when you're in it, but you're like, well, there are good, there's pros, there's cons, all the things, but you are physically falling apart and you can't show up for your family, for your best friends. I can't perform as best at work, so that sucks.
But
So
I
you
like
feel
what you
you're-
said, though, about that was about it really is to the benefit of the employer
Mm-hmm.
to take good care of their employees. Because if everyone is like running on, like 5 hours of sleep and are constantly wired, because you're going to create an environment where everybody is just going crazy all
Mm-hmm.
the time. And then it's like, well, no one's running efficiently, so we're all working harder for no reason.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Yeah.
I just like what I agree with that quite a bit.
Yeah, it's just what it is. And it's funny because me hearing it, I think I can see it. It was like
Yeah.
laid out and I was like, that's what that is. And so I love though that you're on the other side of it and you're so much happier in your work environment. But let's talk about women's health. Like, let's really dig into it. How your body was affected to what did you do to get your health back on track? You even talked about, I couldn't go to the gym. Like I couldn't work out. And I know some people listen and they like, girl, I hate working out. Like I get that, but it is. And you talk about like cortisone levels and all the things. Yes, we're not doctors, but we are not stupid. We are women and we have intuition where we have to listen to our body.
Well, I think women have to take a little bit more control of their health, and you do have to do a little bit more research, and you have to advocate for yourself a little bit. Like, for example, I have PCOS, which is pretty common, unfortunately. There's a lot of women that have PCOS, but one of the things that they said was like, we'll just take birth control.
Yeah.
And they put birth control on it, and
Instead of solving how can we fix the problem, it's just another layer to
yeah. Well, I mean, birth control has just been slapped on everything.
I have acne, take birth control.
Take birth control.
That
Right,
starts at like
right, right.
12. And I'm like, what are you doing to this person's body?
Yeah, no, it's so true, because it used to be a weird thing where, it was just Catholics that would talk about birth control, but it made it into the mainstream, I think, last year. And it's really caught on where people of all faiths are like, okay, maybe birth control is not the best idea. And so they put birth control on me. And sure enough, like, yes, were my periods regular? Technically, yes, because I was on birth control. But I didn't really ever like feel like myself. And so eventually I was just like, I got to get off of this. I was like, there's got to be a way for me to do this on my own. But with PCOS, again, TMI, but my cycles are longer. And so that was one of the problems with where I was working, is that when you're constantly stressed out, if you think about it, like your body's not going to ovulate or want to, because it's like, we're not safe.
Yeah.
So it's like, my body would just be like, we're not doing this. And so I would literally, I think at one point I went about maybe like 3 to 4 months, maybe even longer without a period.
Wow.
So it was like really sporadic. Like my period was everywhere. And so that affected me quite a bit, because at least from what I could experience, the thing I like about a normal period is that your emotions are kind of predictable to a certain extent.
Oh, yeah. You're like,
I know this is,
you're turning psycho this week. Interesting.
Yeah. Or if you're looking at your husband a little strange, it's like, oh, maybe I'm just getting close to my period. But with this, it was like my emotions were all over the place.
Mm-hmm.
So that was part of not having a period that was really difficult.
Mm-hmm.
At least it was difficult for me. And so that was one of the main problems that I saw when I was in the environment that I was in. And also, I can't blame it all on environment because I already had some underlying issues like the PCOS, hypothyroidism. So you have those two things that are happening, plus you have an extreme amount of stress. It's just like a bad cocktail.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
It was a bad cocktail. And so I ended up, it was interesting when I left my old job, it was so interesting. A couple of days after, because I ended the same day that I ended my job, the next day I shot a wedding. And so my body's still kind of like in fight or flight. So you're just going, right? You're going. That's how it works with wedding days. And then, a day or so passed and I was fatigued, like exhausted. And I'm pretty sure it was because my body was like, oh, we're not in fight or flight anymore. Cortisol just crashes. And you're like, it was the strangest thing. But eventually I ended up feeling better. And then one day I woke up and I felt refreshed. And I hadn't felt refreshed in a long time. Really, really long time. And so then what I also noticed.
Did you realize it in the moment that you were feeling refreshed?
Oh,
or
yeah.
Now look, you did? Okay.
Oh, yeah. I knew in the moment. Because I knew, like, you asked in the very beginning, like, how do you know you're in a toxic environment?
Yeah.
It's like, I knew at the end. Like, I actually knew probably halfway through my tenure there that it was not ideal. But I kind of, sometimes you do have to keep going.
Yes.
And it just is what it is. But yeah, I woke up and I was like feeling refreshed and like going to like, because that was another thing too I want to get into is that when you're always on, like even like working out, like I felt like I was missing something. It's like working out is this time where you're just like, I'm in the zone.
Yes.
I'm going for it.
Yeah.
But with working out, it kind of felt like someone could call me at any point, which did happen though. That happened a few times.
You
and
never could probably be in the moment of anything that was going on because there could be you know what I mean?
There could be something going on. Yeah. Mm-hmm. That was always happening. But yeah, I woke up, I was waking up refreshed, and then I was like, well, maybe I can start, I'm still getting into it because it takes a little bit of time because I'm still on that journey, but like my husband got me into running a little bit more. So I run now and I'm like, it's actually refreshing to run, which is great. But then it just kind of made me really want to take charge of my health because one of the nice things that I saw was that my period started to regulate. Yeah. Which I was really I've never had a regular period. And so it's finally getting to that point. Because my body's like, oh, we can do this now. It's safe. It's good. Yeah. So that was one of the things. But I also do supplementation. Mm-hmm. So I do. Again, this is not a prescription for anybody. This is just what I do that has worked, and my doctor is fine with
tell
it.
Us.
At least with this one part that I'm going to tell you, I take inositol.
I don't know if I've heard of that.
Inositol, I can't go into like deep detail about it because I don't know like a ton about it. But I do know that it helps regulate your cycle.
Anybody has access to that, or you have to have?
No, you can go to Amazon. I use the Life Capsule ones. Okay. I take 4,000 a day, and that's because I have PCOS. Because I'm trying to regulate. If you
can look that up and link it, so if anybody's interested in seeing what that is about.
And obviously do your own research into it. Like, don't just be like, well, Jordan said that this was good. It's like, no. Like, it works for my body and my situation. Yeah. And so that has helped my cycle regulate itself a little bit more. Additionally, like taking a prenatal as well is helpful, especially if you're trying to have children. Like doing that before you get started is good. I take a high quality vitamin D. Vitamin D has been known to help with like the health of your eggs as well, so that's good. And then like taking like fish oil, and then what's another one I take? I started up again maca root.
Maca root.
Supposed to help with your sex drive a little bit.
Oh, yeah.
Not that
just
my
a little
sex
bit
drive
more
is bad
energy.
or anything.
Yeah.
But it's helpful.
Are all of these pills? Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
they're all-
I hate pills.
Yeah.
I'm like, can we get everything in powder form, please?
You
I mix
can though.
it?
That's the thing. You can do powders.
So much is in powder.
I
yeah.
just don't mind. Like,
Do you take pills like this and then pop them in your mouth?
No, the pills are too big for
Yeah,
that.
I take one at a time.
Yeah.
And I have to go to the back of my tongue, and I pop it there, and then I drink, and then I
Yeah.
have to do another one. I'm like a 2-year-old child.
Yeah,
trying
I
to
don't.
take
I don't
pills.
judge you. I
Yeah.
don't judge you for it.
My husband stares at me, and he's like, "You good?" I'm like, I can't do it.
So you would be frightened at my pill box then because
Yes.
it's like 4. So the inositol, it's like there's 4 of them that
Yeah,
I take because
yeah.
1,000 for each one. Prenatal is 2, maca is 2, omega fish is 2, and then the vitamin D is just 1, and then the vitamin B is also just 1.
Yeah,
So-
that's good though. I'm glad you're taking a lot because most people don't. And have you had blood work and all that checked and that's what you realized you needed? Or you just realized my body feels this way. Let me figure out what I need to fix it.
Yeah, so that's one of the things that I looked at was like, what does my body need? And I looked at my, at my levels, and
Yeah.
a lot of people are, especially in America, are deficient on vitamin D.
Yeah,
as
no,
far
for
as I know.
sure. Yes.
So I was always deficient on vitamin, on vitamin D, and so I knew I was like, okay, I want to take some of that.
Mm-hmm.
The omega 3s, it can help for fertility. I do it more for skin.
Yeah.
I don't know if it helps as much as I do it for skin.
It's probably helping.
The one, though, that I'm religious about is the inositol, because that's the one that helps keep things a little bit more regulated.
Balanced,
And then, like, some diet changes, too. Like, I'm not perfect. I'm still trying to get it better, but my diet kind of went down the drain, when things were not as good, just because you're tired, you don't feel like cooking, and you just kind of want to get out. You just, food can just be like a comfort thing.
Yeah.
Right?
Oh, yeah. And then you just want to snack, or you're doing so much on the job that you actually forget to eat. So then when you do eat, you kind of binge eat.
It's kind of true. Yeah, it's true. Because I wouldn't really eat a ton of breakfast, and, even like lunch was a bit scarce. And so I was probably just honestly undernourished in a way,
Yeah.
but like also with the cortisol so high, like you kind of like hold on to a little bit more right here.
Yeah.
So yeah, I ended up doing supplementation. So supplementation, getting out of that environment where I started to see a really big change in my cycles, like going from like 130-day cycles to like 42 days, and then like eventually like 38 days.
That's
like
getting
closer.
Even though periods suck, like I'm like, dang, do they not just drain your whole life for those stretches of days? It is something, as a woman, it is a natural thing that happens, that it needs to be regulated.
It does. Well, I almost just wish, like, I know some people are like, oh, my period comes. I was like, I wish my period would come.
Yeah, I'm sure you are.
Because it resets you.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, yeah, that sucked for a couple days, but now I'm feeling good. But when you're always in like this limbo, then you feel like your hormones like never reset.
All right, let's talk about this. It's a little TMI too, but I love it.
Yeah.
So my periods changed a lot when I started using. So let me go back to before this.
Yeah.
I never was like a pad girl, but I would have like panty liners, and then I always was a tampon. My mom used tampons. I used tampons. Like it was what it was.
Yep.
And then years ago, maybe it was like 5 years ago, 6 years ago, I would complain to my mom. I'm like, my periods are so heavy. Like I'd bleed through a tampon in 2 hours, and it would just be a thing, right? Man. And she's like, put 2 in at a time. And I'm like, 2? I was like, I never thought about that, putting
That's
2
crazy.
in at a time.
Yeah.
So then I was doing 2 in at a time. My period cramps have always been wild, but even through using tampons, I never used clean organic tampons. I just never made that switch because I was like, I have an overflow of like stock, let me use what I have.
Sure.
So I was doing that. And then I realized, I was like, I am over tampons. I am over a pad. I'm over bleeding out. Like I would be walking in the store and I would just bleed through my clothes, just crazy crap. Yeah. I would have to go in the store, rebuy clothes. Like I would find myself in wild situations. A week of period, I was like, don't leave your house. But now I found. It's called the disc.
Okay,
And
I know someone who uses those and
Oh,
loves
Jordan,
them.
it is magical.
Really?
Now, let me just describe it to you.
Yeah.
It's a little bit awkward, but it's fabulous.
Yeah, no,
You know what I
I've
mean?
seen them. They're kind of like it's almost looks like a lens filter.
It does
Almost.
kind of.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yes. And so this one is I guess it's made out of silicone. I don't know. That's what I assume because it's how it feels.
Yeah.
It could not. I don't know. But anyways, it is a healthy like choice if you're going to insert something. But anyways, so it's clear and I don't know. I bought mine at Target and then the second one I bought was on Amazon and I have 2 of them. So I just like rotate. And so as soon as I know, like I'll just sit down. I'm like, oh, there's blood. Like you wipe or you pee or whatever. And I'm like, okay, here we go. So you have to kind of like squeeze it almost, right? You squeeze it, you push it in and you have to get it past is it the cervix? I guess it is the cervix. So
I don't know.
It is. I'm being very graphic, y'all, but as a woman,
Put an explicit warning on
let
the
me
episode.
tell y'all how much it's changed for no matter how your periods are. If you bleed at all, it will hold the blood up to, I mean, my gosh, I've kept mine in literally for like 10 hours at
Wow,
times.
That's crazy.
And it holds it. Because there's really not that much blood. But when you insert a tampon or you bleed on a pad, it looks like you have a bucket of like a gallon of blood. You know what I mean? How it looks. But when it's not soaking up in cotton, it's just like in this cup. So it is also very annoying to take it out if you are in public. But I normally, when you know you're bleeding, you're just very aware of like.
Well, you can keep it in for 10 hours and then you can just
get home and take it out. Yeah. So I've also been out where it says it like self dumps. I've only experienced that one time where I went to the bathroom in public. I bled, but I kept it in and I just cleaned up and wiped or whatever. And then I kept moving on. I was like, oh, maybe that was self-dumping. I don't know. But anyways, I get home and I pull it out. I have to use my thumb to like get it out because you really got to get up in there.
Yeah.
So it's a lot for a woman's body. But if you are on pads or tampons, and some people self-bleed, like what is it called? Like
Free bleed?
Free bleed. Yeah, I said self-bleed. Free bleed. I'm like, I can't be a free bleeder. Y'all.
Nope.
I can't do it.
Nope.
I know there's underwear that's like, it supports it. I'm like, I can't just be bleeding and have blood. I can't do it. But
no, not for
I
me.
use that and it's awesome. And then I use like this cleaner mousse thing that's from Honest or something like that. And I like clean up and use wet wipes and it's fabulous.
I've heard great things about discs.
Yeah.
Am
So I
close
wanted
enough
to
the mic
ask
here?
you.
Hang
Yeah,
on.
you look good.
Okay.
Yeah, it sounds great.
All right, good.
So I just wanted to ask you, like, even being so when you start your period, do you bleed for like a 7-day or is it 2 days? Is it 10 days? Is it? It's inconsistent.
It's about a 5-day.
Okay.
It's about a 5-day period.
Okay. So yeah.
It's not like I have the opposite problem to you. Like I don't bleed. It feels like enough.
A lot.
But
Got
yeah,
it.
the first, like for most people it's the same. Like the first couple days are you know, I'd be putting in probably like a medium to small pad.
Got it. Yeah.
And I use like the more like organic, I think it's rail.
Which you should. I'm glad you do because
because I used to use like when you're young, like you just use whatever. When I use like the always pads, they would make me itch. The pad itself would deteriorate.
Yep.
It was really gross.
Yes.
And I would be so itchy. And so then I moved to like more organic. Like I hate to sound crunchy about it, but like
It's fine.
it feels
Yeah.
so much better.
Yep.
And so I just do pads because there's no need. Like for me, a disc, I really don't like need a disc.
Yeah.
It just doesn't. I just don't need it. And so then
Yes.
I never got into tampons, just because they never really fit me super well.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
so I just kind of sticked with a pad because I was only going for 5 days. But that's what's interesting is that with my periods, what I started to notice is kind of creeping up on 6 days to 7. So that's honestly not a bad thing.
Yeah.
Like where I'm kind of used to it being done, you know, starts maybe on a Monday or Tuesday and ends around the weekend.
Yes.
So,
yes.
so it's been cool to kind of see it change
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of the thing. It's like with women in work, like, again, I'm not against it. I work a lot. But that hustle culture it's not conducive with our biology. So like you really have to find a way, like if you can, like I know there's situations where say you can't get out of that toxic environment, like you can't afford to quit cold turkey, like you can't do it, where it's like I would encourage anyone, like stick it out, but make a plan. Be like, I know it's exhausting to make a plan, especially when you're already exhausted, but just be like, it's like a run, you know. When you start running, it's pretty easy. And then there's kind of a point in the run where you're not at the end, but you're like at the beginning of the end. And so you're tired, but you can still see, it's like, okay, I can kind of see the finish line. That's where you are, I think, when you're kind of looking to get out of a situation of like, okay, I am exhausted and it's going to be a lot to make a plan, and it's going to be a lot of extra hours to be applying to jobs. Like, we don't even want to talk about the job market and how ridiculous it is to find something, and you have to put in 1,000 applications. But it's like, okay, like you got to make that plan. You just got to do it.
Yes.
Shia LaBeouf it, you know, you just gotta do it. And that's what I would recommend it to people, because if you, I was talking to some people about this, like if you stay in a position like that long enough with your body, it can have lasting consequences. And so you have to think about your health too. It's not just like, it's like, oh, my mental health, you know, it's much more than that.
Yeah.
Like if you start seeing the signs that your body is kind of deteriorating, you know, you're in that fight or flight all the time, you're not resting, that could be some signs.
Yeah. It's also different than some people can look at it like, oh, well, this is my passion. Like when you're passionate about it, you just work harder. You push through. I like that you brought up the hustle culture. I think that definitely is also talked about a lot. It's like just hustle for the next thing. Sometimes also being very complacent with where you are and feeling success in not just a financial way, like feeling success in your being. You know, I feel like now more at this age, I'm like, listen, you have one life. You have got to take advantage of taking care of that. You know, like you have one shot.
But when you're young, you just don't think about that.
You don't, and
because you can get away with it. Like, you know how you can get away with, you know, having fast food every day in your 20s.
Oh, I miss it.
Yeah, you can't do it now. You can't do it now.
Like, let me eat 3 cheeseburgers. I'm like, yeah.
And by the way, I've been watching your stories. You look amazing.
I feel so
great.
good.
Yeah.
I can't eat 3 cheeseburgers. I can eat half of a burger right now.
That's okay.
Isn't that wild?
Yeah, it is. But
it's wild with this medicine. I mean, listen, if y'all are not pro, this shot is fine. But I'm loving what it's helping me with. But
you
I'm
have
like,
diabetes.
I
right?
do. I have type 1, and my blood sugar has been so fabulous, and that is such a challenge for me. It has been. It's been 13 years, and that is a daily struggle. Constant. My little boy this morning, my youngest, my phone reads all my stuff because I wear like a monitor and stuff, and it's in the other room just yelling at me. If this phone, you know, people are just constantly addicted to their phones, but if my phone's not on me or near me within like 3 feet, my phone starts yelling. It's like pissed off. It's like, no, where's the monitor? I need to connect.
Yeah.
And my blood sugar had dropped. He's like, Mom, you're going to pass out. And I'm like, well, I'm not going to pass out right now. Like, you know, I'm like,
I'll pass out soon.
I could, like, soon. Yeah. And I've been carrying like juice boxes. Anyway, it's just all, and I'm like, give me a juice box. Like, let me just drink my apple juice or whatever. Cause sometimes I'm like, I don't even want to eat anymore. Like I eat to fuel my body. I eat what I need.
Yeah.
And I think, and that's always how I've been, but I'm like you, like, you're like, I could just snack, or I just emotional eating or whatever. Like when you were saying that earlier with your job, you're just like, I just want to eat, snack. I wanted to ask you, are you a sugar or like a starchy type of snacker or eater?
Yes.
Both?
Yes. Yeah, I like both. But I would definitely say like probably would go a bit more towards the sweet side.
Really? Okay.
Yeah. I like sweets, and I still like sweets. Like that hasn't changed.
Yeah.
But I think refined, I've decided from trying to cut out refined sugar to a certain extent that it is very addicting.
Yeah.
It's
I mean, it is.
extremely
It's like a drug. I'm like a starchy. I'm like potato chips, mashed potatoes.
I want to try to make those foods
So
healthier.
good.
I've heard that you can like make potato chips and like get them real thin and like kind of get rid of those extra unnecessary oils and calories.
100%.
Because and again, I'm not an expert in this either, but I've definitely been looking at all the different preservatives and stuff, and I was like, I could just make some of this myself.
Yep.
I was like,
it just takes a lot of prep, and if you know what you want, I'm like, you're willing to do the prep. Like, if you know it's better for you, sometimes you're just like, I don't care if it takes me another hour.
I'm getting to that point.
Yeah.
Like, because I do work a lot, so that can be a little bit challenging. I am getting to that point that I'm like, I think I'd rather make this myself, because I've been thinking about potato chips. My husband loves potato chips. I love potato chips, where that's been on my mind, where it's like, I really think that I could just... I have an air fryer. I could make these, and I was seeing like recipes and different stuff, and I was like, and I also make I make my own bread as well, as
you do?
as every millennial Gen Zer does now, but it's not sourdough, but it's a gluten, because I'm also gluten intolerant. So it's like a gluten-free Italian bread with 4 ingredients.
No way.
Mind-blowingly good.
Shut up.
I'll get you some when I take your photos here soon. I'll bring you some bread.
That is so cool. Okay, so let's talk about bread for a second.
I don't know that much about bread, though. I only know how to make my bread.
Yeah, well, and see, you're like, I've mastered it for me, and if y'all don't like it, who cares? I'm weird about bread, because bread will spike my sugar. So I have found Hero Bread as a company.
I've heard of Hero Bread.
And they're like minimal things or whatever.
Yeah.
And they do really well for me. But recently, even before Christmas, we were talking about, I should get all the things to start making bread here at the house. Because my gosh, when you order so much bread, even for your whole family, it's a lot. And it is like, it adds up very fast. And so, especially when you think of a burger bun, and then a sandwich bread, and then like bread for dinner. Like, it's like there's 1,000 breads. And so I've been interested. So I 100% want to try that recipe.
Yeah.
I think that'd be cool.
Yeah.
Do you use a Dutch oven? That's what I wanted to ask.
No. See, I'm not cool.
How do you do it?
I literally will just put like a pie pan underneath on the bottom one, and I'll put some water in it and let it steam, and then you put the bread on top on a tray.
Oh.
And I'll like, after this episode, I'll like show you what it looks like.
Ooh, okay.
But it's super easy. I think it's literally the flour, and it's a specific type of flour.
Yes.
It's an Italian flour.
Which is,
flour.
Italians are so much better health-wise, like insane.
I know. They can eat pasta and look beautiful. It's amazing.
Yep.
That's a caputo flour, salt, yeast, water. That's it.
Dang.
That's it.
And you love it.
Oh, it's so good. And I don't make it all the time. Come listen, it's homemade bread, but it doesn't mean that you should eat a whole loaf of it. Yeah. I don't make it all the time, but when I do, it's,
it's a treat.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I went on a whole thing to find out how to make it, and I want to eventually, I'm interested in doing sourdough, but to me, like, it's so complicated. It scares me, because there's like sourdough like connoisseurs out there.
Yes.
Which, all props to them, because I'm just like, these are the most beautiful things of bread I've ever seen. I just don't know if I have.
And you got to feed the starter.
Yeah, you have to feed your starter like it's alive, where I'm just like, oh my goodness.
It's alive. I'm like, what if I kill it?
I know. It's a living organism. Like, I don't want to kill it. It's so beautiful. So yeah, eventually I will get into sourdough, but I am a working woman, and so it can be tough to...
Yeah, the hours are tough. To be in the kitchen.
Yeah, but, we still try to do that, though. We're kind of a traditional home, like... Yeah, I do most of the cooking, which I don't mind.
Yeah.
But
does he like to cook, though?
I wouldn't say so. He can cook.
Okay.
He can.
My husband he will actually like to cook. He's more of a grill master. He's like...
My husband wants a grill so bad. If we had a grill, I think he would be cooking a lot more, but we live in an apartment, and there's no real grill. So I think he's like, his dream is to have a grill and a jet ski, and that is
he'd be living his best life.
He'll be living his best life, and I want that for him too. I think the grill probably before the jet ski. At this point, but yeah, no, I do most of the cooking.
That's so fun. When y'all vacation somewhere, do y'all rent jet skis and go out?
No.
You don't?
No,
Yeah.
we don't. We went on some friends' jet skis once.
Yeah.
But we're kind of cheap, which
Yeah.
is...
I'm like, next trip y'all go on, that's just like, you got to do that.
We
you
got
know
our
what
anniversary
I mean?
coming
Be like,
up.
I know that we're not getting one yet, but you know what? I rented us 2 for the day or 1 for the day. Let's share and have fun. That'd be so fun, especially if he's like interested.
Yeah.
I think that's
he's
funny.
into that
Guys
stuff.
are so different than girls.
They are. But as long as he's happy.
Yeah, I know.
That's all that matters to me.
That's so cool. Though.
And he's a great husband, because when I cook, like, he is always so grateful, and he eats basically anything that I make. It's always so. It's if you're the cook, and you're the person you're cooking for is happy and shows appreciation.
Yeah.
You're like, yeah, I'm good.
Do you bring it up and you're like, okay, do you want me to make this again?
Yeah. Sometimes I'll ask. And he'll be like, yeah, but he is so chill. Like, he just lets me make.
He's like,
want.
if you want to make it, I don't care.
Yeah.
Like that. That's so nice.
Oh yeah, he's not picky at all.
That's good. Yeah. That does make it easier though when you are cooking and prepping, because if it's just a challenge, you're like, you can't eat certain things or you don't like certain things, then you're really limited. But if you can just be creative and do what you want to do, I think that's fun. Yeah.
Well, he has no allergies either.
That's good. Oh, that's good.
He has no allergies. He's not picky. It's a good.
So it's really, you have to cook for you, and then
pretty
he'll
much
enjoy
it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yep.
And that's how it works.
Yep. Makes my life easy.
That's super cool. Okay, well, let's talk about a little bit of photography.
Yeah.
How did you get into that?
So I was 15 years old when I got my first camera. This is
Did
the
you
honest,
ask for it, or was it a surprise to you?
I asked for it.
Nice.
I asked for it. And so my mom is an artist. My dad is a musician, but I mean, his day job is not music. He does something else. He's not a starving
artist. What does he do
artist.
music-wise?
He plays the bass.
Nice.
He's in 2 bands. He's in one called the Major Dudes, and then there's another one. I don't remember what it's called. But yeah, it's just a bunch of old guys, and like
That's
they'll
cool,
play at like different venues and stuff. So they do great music. They do a great job. Yeah, but my dad's a musician. My mom's an artist. So that's where I got more of the artsy part of me. And so I had moved to North Carolina when I was 11, and I really wanted girls to like me. Mm-hmm. Like, I just wanted friends. Like, I didn't have any friends. And I was like, well, girls like their pictures taken.
Oh, my God.
So
you're like, I'll find friends.
Yeah.
I'll take your photo, guys.
Basically, yeah. Like, that's the logic of, like, a 15-year-old.
Uh-huh.
And so I got a camera, and my mom, we went to go pick it up, and she paid for part of it. They paid for part of it, and then I paid, like, a little bit kind of to put some.
Makes you appreciate it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I feel like when any kid wants something, they will do anything to, one, save up or just contribute in some way. Uh-huh. They'll respect it more, because otherwise you're like, it costs what? Oh, okay. If it breaks, like, whatever.
Yeah, no, it's true. And I was really into it, and I mean, obviously I'm still into it.
Yeah, you are. How old are you, by the way?
How old do you think I am?
Like 25, 27?
That's pretty
I feel
close.
like you're really
27.
young. 27. Okay. Yeah. I felt like you were still in your 20s, but I was like, you're more mature, so I feel like you were like more
sweet.
grounded.
No, yeah, so I'm 27. I'll be 28 in a couple months. So I started young.
Yeah.
I started young.
Okay.
And with photography, it's very expensive to do just as a hobby. Like, my gear itself, I was literally thinking about it the other day. I was like, it's about like 10 to 15 grand, worth of equipment. And so if you're gonna have a hobby that expensive, you might as well make it into a business. And so that's what I did. This was before social media. Like, this was before there were YouTube tutorials everywhere.
Yeah.
Like, I was literally reading like magazines and like books on, like, I had a manual on Lightroom that I was reading. So it was just a completely different situation then, but I just kept shooting and shooting, failing a little bit, shooting a bit more, ask a bunch of people to just let me, take their photos. And eventually, I was able to land my first wedding for like $500. I remember. And one of the things though that made my journey significant was just the people that really helped me along the way. Of like, one of kind of call her a photography mentor because I don't know really what else to call her. We're friends now, but I was like 16 years old when I just like called her because we had a mutual friend, and this friend's like, hey, I've got this teenager that loves photography. Will you talk to her? And she, my photography mentor, she was like, yeah, I'll just let her just ask questions, But when you get like a teenager, you're like, but apparently I was impressive enough to where like she took me on some shoots, and then eventually
that's a big deal.
I started second shooting for her.
Because sometimes you're so young, you don't even know what to ask. You're like, I don't know.
And I don't remember what I
to
asked
do.
her.
Yeah.
But I remember that I had, serious questions for her. And so she ended up, letting me tag along. And like without people like her, and there was another guy that helped me as well. Like without that, like I don't know where I would be. Because people like they gave up their time, and they kind of took a gamble, because it's like if you're like 15, 16 years old, and then also the people that hired me when I was like 17 years old, like that's just, I look back at that now, it's like, okay, yeah, that's a little crazy, but they thought I was good enough, and they gave me a chance, and so now I shoot weddings. I do like branding. My claim to fame is my Lululemon ambassador photos that I have in I think like 4 stores in Charlotte.
Cool.
So a little bit weird, like to do fitness and wedding, but I really enjoy fitness. It's a lot of fun. But yeah, I've been at it for a long time for my short life.
Yeah, I think that's awesome to talk about, that you got your camera at 15. And now where you're at with what you're doing, but your passion has not like fizzled out. Because some people at 15, they are like, I want to do this, but that's not where they stay. You know what I mean?
And sometimes that's how it goes, where like you try something and you're like, you know what, this wasn't quite for me. Exactly. Yeah. And I think in regards to passion, I think it's ebbed and flowed, where it's kind of like a marriage. It's like you love what you do, but sometimes you're not always feeling it. Like sometimes that's happened to me. And I think with businesses, it can be really tough because you are competing with a lot of other photographers. I know that's kind of a dirty word to say in the photography world, but like, yes, we are a community, but yeah, we are competing with each other. We're obviously competing.
And there's so
for
many different
clients.
Styles.
There are. And you have to know what your lane is too. Of like, for example, if you like light and clean photography, I'm just not going to be it for you.
Right.
And that's really okay. There's a whole like section of photographers that do that.
Yes.
But even there's sometimes I even compare myself to them, because there's so many really good photographers out there that I look at their work and I'm like, oh man, I wish I could kind of just take a little bit of that, and you draw inspiration from them. But yeah, it can be a little bit of an ebb and flow when it comes to passion. But I've stuck with it because I really enjoy it. And I'm much more people-centric. Yeah. I don't love landscape. Yeah. It doesn't speak to me. And so people often do. Yeah. I can maybe put like on one hand how many clients I have not like enjoyed working with, just because, not because they're bad people or anything. It's just like they're just not really like into it. And it's like you spent all this money to kind of not take advantage.
You're like, give me something to work with.
Well, it's like you're paying a good amount of money for it. Yeah. You might as well get into it. Yes. And it's my job to help you get into it. Yes. But there's points where like you try everything and you're like, all right, I don't think they're ever going to be. Yeah. I tried. I really tried. Yeah. But no,
do you
all
have
my
music on your sets? Like if you are doing photos, do you encourage music?
Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes I
love music on the set.
Yeah. I've actually thought about re-implementing that, because I did that at one point. I was like, you know what? I need to do that more. Because that's the thing. It's like I've been doing it for 12 years, but I don't feel like I've reached the end of getting better. I really...
Oh, there's always space and room to evolve, right? In what you do.
Yes. Yeah. Well, I think that's the thing. I'm really hard on myself, where it's like... Sorry, I'm talking so much.
It's okay. Yes, sip that coffee, girl. Is it even good?
Yeah, it's good.
It's a Starbucks cold brew. Oh. And then it's caramel oat milk.
Oh, yeah, I like it.
With a little bit of caramel syrup.
Ooh, I like it.
Is it too sweet?
It's a little sweet, but
Yeah.
it doesn't. It's not like it's good though.
You know what's weird is when you do make somebody a drink, I never taste their drink. Like,
Sure.
you know, when you make your
'Cause it's
own
their drink.
Yeah, you're like, I make myself, I taste it.
No, this is
As you
good.
say, okay, yeah.
No, this is good.
Okay.
I don't even know what I was talking about because we just got talking about.
Well, I
this.
was saying like it's okay to evolve. You said you are really hard on yourself.
Oh yes, thank you. I am really hard on myself because I always want to be better, and I think
Yeah, for
sometimes what happens is that I'll compare myself to other photographers, and their work is beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
It's so good, and then I just have to be like, okay, I can draw inspiration from them,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm not them. Because if I try to do, because sometimes I'll try to do some of that what they're doing, I'm like, it doesn't feel like me. It's like I don't love this because my style, and I can even give you my socials and my website and stuff, and you can put them in the show notes, but it's very dramatic.
Yeah.
I like the word sexy, but I think sultry is a good word.
Sultry. Oh, I didn't think of
Yeah.
sultry. That is good. Yeah,
because it's not like, because when I think
you're not doing, what is it called, the boudoir?
I
It's
don't
not
do
that.
No.
Yeah, so I don't want y'all to think like that's what it is, but when you look at an image and you're just like, oh my gosh.
I think it's like, to me, it's about like creating having beautiful light around your bride and groom, and then creating a level of what looks like sexual tension. I think is a good way of putting it. Where
Yeah,
there's
it's
nothing.
just-
it's like
so
nothing
cool.
sexual, like
No.
nothing like that.
Yeah, it's not inappropriate at all.
No, and for some photographers, that's their vibe.
Yeah.
That's not mine.
Yeah.
But it's about creating that intensity. I think that leaves plenty to the imagination. And so for me, it's been a combination of finding inspiration from other photographers, but then also realizing where my lane is and being okay with almost trusting myself of like, I kind of like that, but let me tweak it just a little bit. And so I've been starting to do that in the new year, and I actually have I actually started adding some on-camera strobing, which I did an engagement session a week or so ago with that, and the photos are just, I'm like, oh, this is
So
what I've
cool.
been missing.
Yeah,
So-
so cool.
Yeah.
Well, how do you guard your peace? Because coming from a crazy work environment to now, you are an entrepreneur with your photography, so you do that, but you also work in still work environment. How do you keep yourself in a safe space where you're like, this will never happen again, and I'm not going to be taken advantage of? How do you do that now?
I think you just have to, be confident in what you know in your experience. I think,
Yeah.
like, I'll go back to what we kind of said earlier, is like when you're younger, you're so enthusiastic, you want to get that job or like do that
Yes.
thing that you're passionate about. You want to save
Yeah.
the penguins. And then little do you know that how you're saving the penguins is slowly destroying your soul.
Yeah.
I think you just kind of, there's nothing too super profound other than to say, like, you just kind of know better. You're like I kind of like see young people, and I'm like, dude, you're going to pay for this later.
Yeah.
Like, I'm not old or anything. Like, I'm pretty young. I'm 27 years old, but I'm not like out of college.
Yeah.
Like, I've been in my career now for like 5 to 7 years where it's like, yeah, I'm not, like, I know it's not worth it anymore. I think the thing that helps me guard my peace is I do think about when I have children. I think thinking about having children, and like, let me back up. I think getting married changed how long I was willing to be in that situation, because suddenly my job and even my business, weren't my most important thing. It was my relationship with my husband. And there was nothing wrong with our marriage or anything like that. But when you're strained, like, 'cause you're tired,
Yep.
it's like, well, I don't want to do is like, it's like, okay. And then you think about having kids, and you're like, I don't want to, like, you're going to be tired.
Add to it.
You're
Yeah.
going to be tired with kids, but I don't want to be that kind of tired.
Yeah,
like,
it's
I'm going to be
different.
stressed with kids. I don't want to be stressed with this work situation that doesn't even deserve this level of stress. Yet the environment demands it.
Yes.
I
Yeah.
want my attention to be more on my kids, and then see my job as like something that you work excellently at.
Yes.
You work to the best of your ability, but it's just not like taking over your whole being, where you can kind of shut your brain off and be like, all right,
Yep.
for a day, everything's going to be fine, and you don't have to worry about any pressure. But yeah, I think it's just being smart enough just to say, no, like,
Yeah.
I'm not doing this. Like, you're not gonna, it's kind of like, it's like, it's like almost like a cult. Like if you leave a cult,
Yeah.
and then you kind of know the signs. Like, have you ever heard of people like talking after they get out of
Yes.
cult?
Yep.
Like,
Yep.
they just know the signs, and they're like,
Yeah.
well, we're just not gonna do that again. You almost think,
Yes.
and you almost think to yourself, like, man, how did I end up in this situation?
Uh-huh.
You're like, how did this happen? But I understand it now, because it's kind of a slow thing,
Yes.
and it's a lot of little manipulation.
Mm-hmm.
It's the, we're family. It's the, if you really cared,
Oh,
you
that.
would,
Oh.
know, it's like, this is what we
Pisses
have to
me
do.
off. People are crazy.
And then it's almost the encouragement of like, I know this was so much work, but you guys were great. It's almost like, here's a good way of describing it. It's like I'm gonna get in trouble.
Oh, no.
It might be. It's kind of like an abusive boyfriend. Think about it like that.
Yeah.
Where it's like,
Oh my gosh. Yeah, but I love you though. Yeah, but then it's like,
and then it's like it's like, like go, like work. Then think of it as the boyfriend of like, being, whether it's emotionally abusive or,
Yeah.
God forbid, physical. Both are bad. And then being like, I love you. So here's a bouquet of roses. And so you're like, oh, maybe it's okay. And so in a work environment, you can kind of be like, okay, yeah, they were hard on us, and yeah, like they didn't speak to us well, but look how much praise they're giving us now.
but
And it was all worth it.
They had
in
a
the
party
end.
for us. Look
Yeah.
at how now we're rewarded or
Yeah,
something.
Yeah,
like-
exactly. It's like it's
Yeah.
like this. It's a cycle of like abuse, and then love bombed.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
then
Yeah.
the love bombing gets you to the spot where you're like, well, maybe it wasn't actually that bad. Like, oh, look, he does love me. And it's like, and then you're back and it's like, oh my gosh, this is the worst. I need to, and then they're like,
Yep.
then it's all, they're like, oh, another bouquet of roses. And you're like, oh, maybe
Yeah.
it's a cycle.
Yeah.
That's the thing.
It is a cycle. It's this freaking roller coaster. It's
Yeah.
exhausting.
Yeah. But I just
Yeah.
tell anyone who's in it, make a plan.
Yes.
Make a plan. Don't complain. You got to find a solution.
Yeah.
Make
Yeah.
a plan.
I've talked about this on my personal YouTube channel of a workspace I was in for 17 years. And
Yeah, because you were telling me that you had some experiences.
yeah, I never saw it until I got out of it. And I think the last 5 years working in that type of environment, I stepped away from, I just did everything by myself. I was like, I'm stepping away from everything and I'm just going to do everything by myself. And I did, and it was fine, but it was still very much, I was very controlled over what I could do, all the things. But I spoke about it maybe a couple years after I was like out, like I stepped away from everything and cold turkey. Like I was like, I'm done. I resign. And it was. And I was like, I have to rebuild and it's fine. I don't care. But it was really damaging to myself mentally and physically. And I just couldn't do it anymore. And so I spoke about it. And when you said cult, that's what made me, I was like, I wasn't really going to bring it up, but that is what it is, because they will brainwash you so much in a way of that. It is almost, I was told a lot. Yeah. Family environment, I think, was brought up as stuff a lot, but they told me, do this for your family. Don't you want to do better for your family? So it was almost like this twisted thing where it's like, well,
if you loved your family, you would work harder.
Yeah. Well, I'm like, well, of course I want to provide for my family. Of course I want to contribute. Of course I want to be a really good mom. Of course I want to do all these things. And I'm like, yeah, well then I should do X, Y, and Z because that is going to benefit my family. That's how it was really taught a lot too.
Interesting.
That
Yeah.
was tough. And so I constantly was told to myself, I would tell myself, well, I want to do this for my family, I want to be the best parent I can be. And so I will say those years, it gave me a ton of flexibility because I was a new mom at 27 and actually had our firstborn. She was a stillborn. I don't know if you knew that, but then
Sorry to hear
at
that.
28 is when my oldest was born. And then a year and a half later, like we had our second, but I was like, I was going through all this stuff as a new parent and it was still the same crap.
Yeah.
They would never say anything any different. It was never anything any different. I was like, I worked all these years to prep to be a parent and to position myself, but now I am a new parent and I'm still expected to do all of this stuff. I'm like, what? It was just the craziest environment ever. And I never saw it until becoming a parent. And then I still stayed, but I did things differently and kind of removed myself, but still worked.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I am done. Like, y'all are not going to control every aspect of my life. Are you freaking kidding me? And that's when I stepped away from it. And me and my husband decided, I was like, I can't do this anymore. And he was like, well, I think we'll be fine. Yeah. And I was like, all right, well, I'm done. And so I just stepped away just like that. And it was scary and it was hard and I cried a lot and I thought, am I making the right decision? I'm so dumb. Like, what am I doing? This is stupid. And I'm like, maybe it wasn't that bad. But then when I got away from it, and now I'm like, oh, it was bad.
Because you try to convince yourself in the moment, even when you leave, you're like, I was like, oh, maybe I was being dramatic, and then once you have space from it, and that's the thing. Yeah. That's the thing that's so interesting about. Again, I know we're probably running out of time here, but what's so interesting about those types of environments is that when they're constantly in your face, right? They're in your personal life. They're constantly in your ear, so you don't have time to step away. Yeah. You're constantly in fight or flight for them. You don't get a chance to think those things through.
For sure.
And so that's a really, whether they're doing that on purpose or whether it's just kind of a result of how they're running their organization, that can really make you, not think things through all the way. Yeah. Because you're already, I can't even imagine too, like as a new mom, like your hormones are completely different.
And you brought up like being a mom, like what would that look like? And I'm like, oh my God, I just feel like that just hit me. And I was like, I'm glad you got out when you did, honey. Yeah. Because you would have been struggling. And you wouldn't have known it because you would have been like, well, I guess I'm a new mom. This is just how you should feel. I'm like, no, that's not how. Yeah.
Yeah. It was even like doing this podcast and talking about this, like I want to be like, I even told you on the phone, I have to be like very careful because I don't ever want to like disparage, and that's not really the point. For me, it was like, if you're in a toxic environment, I know what it feels like as a woman too. Like, it's going to mess with your body. It's not worth it. Yeah. It's not altruistic. Just try to get yourself into a better situation where you can actually, be there for your family and be present. Yeah. And hopefully I did an okay job.
You did such a good job speaking on this. And that's how I was going to close it, is what would you tell the woman listening right now if she's in it? And I feel like what you just said is it. But yeah, anything else you want to add to that? Because my takeaway from you speaking is that you never know what a woman's going through. And sometimes looking from the outside, you just go, man, she's got a good career. She knows what she wants. I think that's phenomenal. Look at her, like really doing her thing for this, whatever, XYZ position you hold. And I'm like, that's so inspiring. But you don't know how they're treated in the workspace. So don't, just because a company says whatever on their website or their billboards and this is what we stand for, is not necessarily how they treat their people on the inside. Yeah. And that 100%. That's my takeaway from anyone listening, is ask questions and keep listening. Don't be the person that talks over someone. Listen, be a good listener, and don't judge that person for what they're going through, and see how you can, one, pray for them, be for them, just be the support, however that looks. That's it. But get yourself out of it, man. Get yourself out.
Yeah.
Run away.
Yeah, you gotta run, but run strategically.
Yeah, that part.
Run strategically. Yes, if you can get out without a plan.
Yeah, I'm just running psycho in the woods. I'm like, I don't know where I'm going.
And
you're
sometimes,
like, no, have a plan.
And sometimes the Lord calls you to do that and to trust Him. Yeah. And for me, I thought about it, and it just didn't make sense. But the last thing I'd say is that I kind of have already hit on it just a touch, but I do just want to say that for women, especially in this work culture, you want to operate as if your body is not affected by anything, but you have to, it's okay to treat your body as a delicacy of like, it's not as, it's capable of more than you think, But that doesn't mean that you should put yourself through unnecessary mental and physical bad stress. You know, like it will. I can say for myself, like, do I regret what happened? I actually don't.
Yeah.
I don't regret it because now I'm a lot wiser. And now I know a heck of a lot more.
I know.
And I'm much, much smarter now.
Yeah, that feels really good.
Yeah. But, you know, don't buy into the idea that you have to be strong and just kind of put up with it. Like, stand up for yourself.
Yeah.
Don't take it.
Yep. And you use the word advocate for yourself earlier too. It's the best word too.
Advocate for your health.
Yep.
Advocate for yourself in a job. Don't let people treat you like trash. Just don't fight back. I had to, off the record, I'll tell you things afterwards. But yeah, that's all I get.
She's like, I got boxing gloves in my bag today, guys. No, I'm just kidding.
You know, it's taken a lot of vulnerable moment. It's taken some restraint to
hold back.
Speak in some more general ways. You know, but if you ever want to talk to me later, I can.
Find Jordan on Instagram.
Give you some advice if you're trying to. Or if you want wedding photos done.
Yes. Leave us with your handle. I will put it in the show notes in the description, and I will tag you on our shorts that we post. But what is your Instagram handle offhand?
Instagram is Jordan G Photo.
Love it. And any website? What's your website?
JordanGphotography.com.
Okay.
All pretty streamlined.
Okay. Good.
You can do what Amber did and just DM me.
Yeah, just DM.
You don't have to go through the website if you don't want to. I'm not going to force you to do that.
Yeah. However you want to contact, just do it. Do it all the ways. I love so much that we had this conversation.
Yeah, this was fun. Thanks for having me. Thank you for the coffee.
You're welcome. A little extra sugar boost for you today.
No, I needed it. I got up really early.
Yeah.
To do my hair.
It's
makeup.
Not like pure sugar.
No, I trust you.
I do have a gift for her real quick. Oh, yeah, hang on. I have something for you.
I get a gift.
You get a gift. Yeah, so
do I
this
open it on camera?
I don't care. It is, so it's a reset. My brand, Like Butter, has body scrub, body butter, and
okay, so this will be your product placement. We should open this on
yes,
camera.
open it.
Okay. Thank you.
So, but we have a new set. This has not even gone public yet, but it is
so I can't show the camera.
You can show the camera. Yeah, you can. By the time it'll be on the site, but like it is.
Ooh.
They are a smaller, compact size for travel, for experiences, for take the bag to the bathroom or to your bath. And the convenience of stuffing your favorite things in this bag to have a physical reset.
I actually needed one of these.
Yeah,
like,
good.
bags itself. Oh my gosh. So it's like there's a little
stamped. Yeah.
Oh, that's
so cute, right?
You have to let me do some product photos. You know I do product?
Yeah, you can listen. Hey, we have a photo shoot planned. I'm so excited. We can plan a whole brand shoot. But I am very big on when I became a mom, I really looked forward to my self-care. Yeah. Whatever it looked like. If I was just sitting in the bathroom for 30 minutes, like scrolling on my phone, right? You doom scroll sometimes.
Your bathroom is your only time to get away, right?
I'm like, I just have my peace of mind. But
oh, this smells like a cloud.
Yeah, it's cashmere.
Wait, it's okay. It's like a little bit, okay. So.
Yeah, it's so soft. Ooh. But everybody's self-care routine looks different. And it's a reset. You reset in the morning, at night, whenever you have that time to yourself. So take your favorite bath products, shower products, enjoy, have some luxury.
Oh my gosh, and, it smells...
enjoy.
It smells like a dream. Thank you so much.
So I appreciate you coming.
Thank you. Thank you for the
all
gifts.
this way to the boondocks.
Wasn't that bad. Wasn't that bad.
I appreciate it. This was so much fun. And we'll see you on, go find Jordan online. And this will be, anyways, out soon. Y'all are obviously hearing it. So see you later. Toodles.